It's great to have everybody here. Customer announcement, our friends from Monarch Group, Monarch Airlines. Happy to have you here today for this announcement. Once we do the announcement, we'll have a little time for some Q&A. But let me introduce first our guests. Ian Rawlinson, Executive Chairman from the Monarch Group, and Andrew Swaffield, Managing Director, Monarch Airlines, and then from the Boeing company, Ray Connor, President and CEO of Boeing Commercial Airplanes, and John Wojcik, who's the Senior Vice President of Global Marketing and Sales. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ian for some remarks.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. And we're delighted to be sitting up here in front of you this morning with the Boeing company. We are very pleased to be able to announce today that Monarch Airlines has chosen Boeing as the preferred bidder for the replacement of its narrow-body fleet. We're in the process of finalising terms with Boeing for the purchase of 30 next-generation 737 MAXes, MAX 8s, with options on a further 15 aircraft. At list prices, the 30 aircraft deal will be worth $3.1 billion. Boeing, in the course of a very hard work and long and thorough process, has demonstrated that it really understands our business, and we have really put a lot of time to understand the Boeing product. And we have together put together a complete package that fits extremely well with our ambitions for the Monarch Group for the future. And this announcement is the latest milestone in the transformation and renewal of our group, and we look forward to opening a new chapter in the long and fruitful relationship that we've had with Boeing, which now stretches over 40 years. The fleet replacement is also integral to the completion of Monarch Airlines' transition from a traditional charter carrier to a European scheduled low-cost airline. In April, we appointed Andrew Swaffield, on my left, as the new managing director of the airline. Andrew has been instrumental in this process and in the decision to select Boeing as our partner, and I'd therefore like to hand over to him. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ian, and good morning, everybody. Perhaps it's worth me just touching on why I joined Monarch in the first place, and really for me that's about two main things. One is an exceptional brand that's been around nearly 50 years, and the other is a bunch of very exceptional people. And both of those things drew me into this company, and we see in Monarch Airlines an opportunity to create a European low-cost carrier which brings warmth and a personal touch back to what has become a very commoditized aviation market. And we think that the 737 MAX 8 is a perfect aircraft for us to do that with, especially powered by our partners CFM, who we're also delighted to see here today. The network strategy and schedule optimization that we're looking to put in place over the next few years perfectly matches this aircraft. And in terms of the size of this fleet replacement order and the gauge of this particular aircraft, we also think it matches very much where we're heading as an airline. As Ian mentioned, we've been on a journey, particularly over the last 5 years, moving from a traditional charter airline to a European scheduled low-cost carrier, and we're looking to complete the rest of that journey over the next 3 years as we await the arrival of these new aircraft. We are putting a relentless focus on customer service and looking after people, and we think that this particular product will really add value in that effort. However, the main benefit for us is around efficiency, and the numbers associated with this aircraft are truly outstanding, combined with the efficiency driven by the CFM powered engines. And for us, as a European low-cost scheduled carrier, that really is a very critical point, and plays a very big part in our decision. We've run a very fair and open process, and I'm delighted with the engagement we had from our partners in Boeing and CFM, and we really feel as if we've begun what for us is a very exciting relationship. And as Ian mentioned, it does in fact reach back 40 years as we have in a way gone full circle. So I'm genuinely excited about this opportunity. I'm looking forward to continuing the transformation of Monarch Airlines during the next 3 years, and then awaiting the arrival of these new airplanes, and really delighted to be here today. So thank you very much.
Ray?
Okay. Well, first of all, yeah, Ian and Andrew, I just want to say how appreciative we are of the confidence that you've shown, not only in the airplane, but in our people as well. I mean, this is a very big deal for the entire Boeing company. And I want to extend our appreciation to our partner, CFMI. We appreciate all the work that you put into this. This is an extremely important deal for us. It extends the partnership that began, some 40 years ago with the 707s, and it brings back some, great memories for all of us. And to have Monarch back with the Boeing company is a terrific situation for all of us. This is an airline that is very prestigious. They carried 8 million passengers. They're growing, and I think this is a validation that the 737-8 is the heart of the market, and it is the most efficient single-aisle airplane in the marketplace as well. They'll be 8% better than their competitors flying the A320neo, and I think that they can take great comfort in that they will always be able to be more efficient and a little bit lower cost than the other competitors, which then brings more flexibility in terms of what they can do with price, with respect to their passengers, and bring more value to their shareholders and to their customer base as well. So this is I think a very strong validation of the terrific program and product that we have with the 737 MAX, and in particular the 8. And with that, I would just like to say how much we appreciate the way that you handled the negotiation, the partnership that we've been able to develop, and kind of just coming back to our roots, so to speak, and we appreciate that very much. In fact, on the behalf of all of us at the Boeing Company. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we have some time for Q&A, and we do have a microphone. So if you have a question, do you have one, Dominic? Okay.
One very quick question. How many seats do you plan? I take it it's the high-density version?
No.
Yes? Oh, it's not? Okay.
Shall I take that question?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we envisage most likely 189 seats. We have, as you may know, a very popular product called the extra legroom product. So we tend to have slightly more extra legroom seats than most of our competitors, and we think that's a good differentiator for us. So that configuration enables us to keep a reasonable number of extra legroom seats and still maximize the efficiency of the aircraft. So that's how we envisage it.
You have a premium class as well.
It's not actually a premium class, no. It's extra legroom seats that people pay. They pay a premium on top of the normal ticket.
Yeah, so it's
And my most important question, whatever happened 40 years ago, you're an all Airbus fleet at the moment, so this is a switch to Boeing, a win for Boeing against the A320. Why did you do that? You must have had John Leahy arguing strongly to stay with them. What makes this airplane better?
Well, we do actually have a relationship with Boeing through our 3 757s still. And in some shape or form, we've always retained some kind of relationship with the Boeing company. Just to address your second point, we ran a very fair process, and it was very clear right through that process that we were going to make the choice that was right for Monarch Airlines, and which reflected a combination of partnership, economics, and product. And on those measures, Boeing, powered with CFM, came out very clearly on top. So it was in the end an easy decision for us. And we took into account the transition costs that are required to make that move, and still it was a very easy decision. So we really feel very, very pleased with where we've ended up.
Okay, Tim.
Tim Heifer from Reuters. Could I ask you, gentlemen from Monarch, first of all, beyond the merits of the aircraft, was this an offer you couldn't refuse?
Well,
price?
I think in terms of my previous answer, I would refer you to that and say that we were always going to conclude a campaign. We needed to renew our narrow-body fleet, and that's been widely known. We've been talking about it for quite some time. In the end, you run a competition, and you hope that there's going to be a clear leader in that competition. Otherwise, the decision gets more difficult. In this particular case, there was.
So was Boeing a clear leader at the end of the day?
Yeah, for us it was more about the whole package of partnership and product and economics, and that's very much about efficiency of the aircraft. It's not just about price; it's about how much fuel does that aircraft burn. How many passengers is it going to carry? What's the cost per seat, and what are the trip costs? We're an airline that's interested in making more money in the winter. We're interested in flying to places in the winter that people want to go. We traditionally have been quite a seasonal business with a big summer peak and not doing quite so well in the winter. So for us, looking for an aircraft that would enable us to be very efficient all year round was really, really important.
And could I ask you, Ray, how important was it for you to win this campaign? This was clearly a very contested campaign. You've managed to switch an Airbus customer, and we know that both sides have to be pretty robust in order to make that happen. How important was it to win it? And do you fear that the sort of this intense level of competition could actually spread over to the rest of the market and affect pricing generally in narrow bodies this year?
Well, I think Andrew kind of summed it up. When you look at the entire economics of the package, which includes the economics of the airplane in terms of its fuel burn efficiency, operating cost efficiency. We've been saying this for a number of years. We are the most efficient in the market, in every market segment, and I think this kind of proves it out. Was it a hard-fought campaign? Absolutely, but it's at the end of the day, it's the total package. It's what do you bring to the table with respect to the product, its operating costs, its reliability, its support behind it. The relationship that you can bring in terms of the way that people work together, and then price goes into that as the equation as well. But it's not necessarily the overwhelming factor. It becomes a matter of the whole package, and I think that's really what this says. On a head-to-head, the 737-8 MAX is the more efficient product.
I think it's also, if I could just add
Okay.
something, it's also worth just noting from a group point of view, we of course have a very strong relationship with Boeing through the engineering business. So by carrying out our own aircraft engineering, we have an angle, a perspective on the Boeing company from that angle. So when we're looking at the overall package, we're looking not only from the flying side, but also engineering, where we already do a lot of very exciting work with OEMs and in particular with Boeing.
Okay, to the back, and Guy?
This is a total relationship.
And then we'll
Sorry if I missed this at the beginning, but could you say when the deliveries are expected to begin? And secondly, it mentions that this marks the start of a fleet transition to Boeing. So does that imply that there's other fleet deals in the pipeline for later on? Sorry, beyond the 30, thanks.
Yeah, so the deliveries of the new 737 MAX 8 start in 2018, and we're very pleased with the delivery slots that we've secured in this deal. We have a fleet of about 40 airplanes, and we believe that there is a great deal of flexibility in the order that we are talking about which allows us flexibility to both increase size of aircraft and convert options into firm later if we wish. So we've got a lot of flexibility, which is great. There's a lot of certainty as well, which is very good for us as a core fleet renewal decision. It's very important for us not to, if you like, overestimate the market. We want to ensure that our fleet is the right size and not too big, equally not too small. So we think this is just right for us, and it gives us options moving forward.
Okay, Julie? Wait for the mic. That's okay.
Hi, apologies, Andrew. There'd been reports last fall that you were also looking at the C series. Is that still potentially an option? And if not, did you look at it, and what was your conclusion?
Yes, well, we included the C series in this campaign, and it was not successful. We've enjoyed a good relationship with our friends at Bombardier, and we wish them good luck with their, with the CS300. But for our particular needs, it wasn't quite right. And that, to be honest, the biggest issue there is really the gauge of the aircraft. So for us, the combination of efficiency and size that Boeing brings with the 737 MAX 8 and the fuel efficiency that it brings with the CFM really is an unbeatable combination for us, combined with everything they brought to the deal.
I think we have one more here in the middle. Yeah.
Michael Gubish from Flight Global. I would just want to connect to that previous question about potential wide-body order. That sounded a little bit as if you're not quite sure whether Monarch has some space for wide bodies in the long-term future. Can you say whether in your fleet transition there is a place for wide bodies?
Well, I was talking about the CS300, which is the Bombardier narrow-body product. So, okay, no. No, we're not talking about that. So we have no such plans.
Dominic, you have another one?
Sorry.
Okay. Any other questions?